Man, I've been a Christian all my life. I've been a pro basketball player going on 10 years. And I would say, man, that it's really tough sometimes, and many people don't understand how much you go through as a Christian athlete, especially if you're just trying to be a good example, obviously not boasting, but just one that stands on truth, and you try to stay solid in your foundation. I would say even going backwards, when I was in college, I realized how much you really got to know God for yourself. And, I grew up in a Christian household, but I realized that when I came out of that I really had to make sure everything that was being taught to me, I could really exercise that out through faith. And for a lot of people who are pro athletes, college athletes, who have grown up in church and claim to love God, I feel like we all come to that crossroad moment where it's like, yo, am I going to really live it out for him, or am I going to compromise to try to fit in? And obviously, for those of you that may not know my full story, that was me. I compromised. I did a lot of things that went against what I was taught, my faith. And it really took me down a road where I was backsliding, but I was upset. I was angry at God. And I realized there's a lot of people out there that may not talk about it. They may keep it to themselves. And I do know that sometimes when you do talk to people about God and it randomly comes up, you realize there's a lot of people that's actually grown up in church, grown up in the faith, and they know certain things, like different scriptures. They may have their favorite song that they love to listen to for inspiration, to uplift their soul. But they actually go through so much and trying to fight the pulling that God has on their life for them to really live out their purpose. And it's a tug of war. And I know that it's hard because a lot of times it may be the simplest thing that you may say no to. You may be like, I don't want to drink. I know I may be tempted to have sex, but I don't want to do it because I know what it may lead to. It brings a lot of baggage, a lot of hurt and pain that you don't really see until you get older. But sometimes when you are trying to live that way, you find the peer pressure. You see all those things that comes surrounding you to make you change your lifestyle to fit their lifestyle. But I would say that if you really are wanting to please God, the things that other people try to veer you into and they try to steer you into the wrong direction, you being bold enough to say no or say, I'm all right, I don't got to do that, just like you would in anything else. You having that boldness and that confidence, know that God will get you through. It's not going to be easy, but I will say that as a professional athlete and even going back to college, so many people don't trust God long enough for them to see him bring them out. Because at the end of that tunnel, when you go through that little gauntlet of, people taunting you or people making fun of you, and different things like that, you'll realize at the end, the blessing is much greater because now God is able to trust you. God is now able to give you everything that you really want because you're able to stand the test for him. And I know it's cool to fan. It's cool to be a part of the world. But the Bible says that we are in the world, but not of the world. So that doesn't mean that you're better than anybody. It just simply means that I have these standards. I want to live for God. I want to live holy. But if you don't mind, let me do that in peace while you do what you do. We could still be buddies. We could still be friends. But that's just how I want to live my life. And I feel like I just want to tell a lot of people out there that are in the professional world, in the college world, that you're not alone. You're not alone. And so I just pray that you're able to stick it through. Because if God before you, who can be against you? Peace.